guys, welcome back to Critic and Fan, and today we are talking about the best movies of 2016. The video before this one, my colleague, fan right here, Rob, did his list of the top 10 worst films of 2016. And so today this is the best videos of 2016, but I didn't get a chance to speed off what movies that I thought were the worst for the year for me. These are movies that, Rob, I feel bad for Rob because Rob actually took a lot of punches this year and he actually watched a lot of the bad ones, where I was really kind of just wanting to watch ones that I was really having high anticipation for. So I watched a lot of less crap bombs than Rob did, but I did have a couple of that were pretty bad still. And there are some that I think were on your worst list, so I'll run them by you really fast, and now we'll get into our best films of 2016 in a second. So really fast, this isn't a top 10 list, this is just movies that just really bugged me when I watched them. So, and they're not in any order, it's just, once again, these movies have bugged me, and I don't want to watch these movies ever again. The first off, we have Inferno with Tom Hanks. This movie is very appropriate for me to start off with because this is the only movie of the year that I actually fell asleep in. And I felt really bad because I watched it with some friends and they were like really excited to see this movie. And I fell asleep within the first 20 minutes. And I felt really bad because after the movie was over, they were like, "It was good, huh?" And I'm like, "No," I fell asleep, I'm sorry. It was just bad. Honestly, I was bored to death right away. I'm sorry, guys. Another movie that I didn't like this year was Allegiant from the Divergent series. Did you forget about this movie? Because this wasn't in your worst.
I actually did forget about it.
You did forget about it?
I forgot it existed.
Yeah, that's how forgettable this movie is. Like, Allegiant was a bad movie. I just wish they would stop making these teen movies like Hunger Games. Well, Hunger Games is done, but like that type of movie, you know. Divergent needs to die already. The Divergent series needs to die already. God's Not Dead 2. This movie was just, I didn't like this at all. And it's kind of a bummer because my main problem with it was that it was very one-sided, and it was just very like just Jesus, like all the facts for the Christ side of it, and there was no healthy balance of like the opposing side as well. So that bugged me a lot too, and so it just straight up sounded like a propaganda kind of a movie. So I wish the content of that movie would have been a lot better if they had evenly done both sides, but they didn't, so it bugged me a lot. So and it was just, the acting was very bad in it too. A boring movie that came out this year, I think was on your list, The Girl on the Train.
Yes, on my list.
That movie, the movie started off okay because Emily Blunt's pretty cool, or she's a great actress, and so it starts off okay, and then it just kind of drags on, and then even when the twist happens, like I was told, this is like a great twist, and I watched it, and the twist was super underwhelming. And what makes it dumb is that when the twist happens, the movie goes on for like another, 40 minutes?
It feels like it.
It feels like it just drags on forever. It feels like a 3-hour movie, but it's like an hour and 40 minutes, something like that?
It's forever.
It drags forever. How to Be Single was a dumb movie. I don't understand people even think about liking that movie. How to Be Single is just a dumb movie. It doesn't deserve any more words to talk about it than that. Zoolander 2, there were some funny moments in that movie, but overall, this was the sequel that nobody was asking for. I don't understand why this was made. And my last movie that really bugged me this year was The Huntsman. This movie is stupid. Talk about Zoolander, how I said this was a sequel that nobody asked for. Huntsman was the one that nobody asked for, from the Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah.
Did I say Huntsman? I think I did.
Huntsman.
And so there's a bunch of stupid moments. One of the moments we were just talking about before we filmed this video was when Chris Hemsworth like jumps off like what?
A mountain,
like 300 feet from the mountain, and he just falls, and then he lands on the roof, and then, but like he's totally fine. His knees are no broken bones or whatever. That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen this entire year. Another movie that was stupid was Purge Anarchy. Not Purge Anarchy. Purge Election Year. I almost forgot about that movie. That movie's stupid too. So that was like my quick, worst films of the year. But now what you guys have come up to see was the best. So what we're gonna do is, I think you made a top 10, right? I made a top 10. You made top 10?
I have a top 10.
Top 10. So what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna go back and forth. What's my 10 and his 10, 9, my 9, his 9, back and forth. So, Rob, what was your first pick for number 10?
My first pick for number 10 is Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
Busan.
Yeah.
Train to Busan. I love that one. It's a zombie one.
That is
It's a
great
foreign
movie.
film. You should check it out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, that was a great movie, and it is a foreign movie, but it's basically World War Z on steroids, basically.
Yeah.
So that was a great pick for you. My first stuff on my list is for number 10 is Moana. I thought that Disney did a great job this year with movies. I thought, I mean, you might see some more Disney movies higher up on my list, but number 10 for Moana, I thought that it did a lot of what Disney does best. Likable characters. The songs were all great to hear. I actually liked The Rock's song more than the main girl song.
Rock was fun.
Yeah, the Rock. I mean, it was a great time all around. Let's see, what's your number 9?
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Okay, all right. What about Deadpool? That was like.
I like it was just a fun, different kind of superhero movie. A little too raunchy at times, but it's still fun to watch. That's why it's a little bit low on my 10.
A great pick. Number 9 for me is Jungle Book. Another Disney movie. Like I said before, Disney was killing it this year. And really fast, guys, I think I didn't iterate this before. I know we're doing top 10, right? But it's our own personal picks. It's just whatever movies that we thought would be our top 10 that we would watch again and again. So, if your movie's on this list, don't kill us. It's just what we personally like the most. And we didn't get a chance to watch all the movies, right? So mine was Jungle Book. What was number 8 for you?
Captain America Civil War is my number 8. It would have been higher, but I think Winter Soldier was actually a better movie than Civil War was. So that's why it's a little bit low, also low on my list too. It's a great movie though.
Yeah, Civil War is not on my list. I know. Civil War is not on my list. But I do agree with you that Winter Soldier was the better movie. Civil War did a great job though, because it had like 30 extra characters,
yeah,
all the Avengers stuff like that. So with that in mind, it did a good job for what it was supposed to do. But it combined all the Avengers, but it was still Cap's story.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And plus, you got to see Spider-Man. I mean, that was pretty cool. That was your 8, right? So my 8 is Zootopia. So basically, I just have 3 Disney films in a row, and I think Zootopia came out in, was it February or something like that? February, I think it was, because it came out like around Deadpool,
Yeah.
I believe. And Zootopia, I wasn't expecting too much from Zootopia, but I just knew that Disney made pretty good movies. So I wasn't overly stoked to watch this movie, but after I was done watching it, I thought that it was just one of the best that Disney's ever made, ever for animation. It was just, the story was pretty good. The jokes were funny. The sloths at the DMV was like my favorite part of the entire movie. So, I mean, there was a bunch of good stuff that was in there that I really did enjoy. And so, there you guys go. 10, 9, and 8 are all Disney movies for me. What is your 7?
My number 7 is actually Zootopia.
Zootopia. Okay.
It was the first movie that I really thought, an entire family could enjoy together. Like, I can watch this with my nephew anytime, and he'll love it. And yeah, he did see it with me, and he loved it. And I loved watching it multiple times.
Yeah, Zootopia just dealt with darker themes, remember? Because I remember we were watching the movie, and they were doing some social commentary, stuff like that, where it kind of seemed, when you translate to like modern day, it was talking about kind of like racism and stuff like that,
but with animals.
Or segregation and stuff like that. You're like, what? Like, is Disney going there? And they actually did, and I thought it was well handled how they did it. 7, that was your 7, right? So for me, was a movie that I just watched at the end of this year, was Hell or High Water. And that movie, I mean, I don't remember people talking about it really as much. Because I remember I've seen a commercial or two for it, but it wasn't a movie that like really got me pumped up to see it. And it flew under my radar, and I ended up watching it way later at the year, because it came out when, like, it was in the summertime, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I did get to catch this movie, because the performances are really great, and
it's unexpected too.
Yeah, and there's a decent amount of action in it to where it's not like overloaded with guns and stuff like that. But what I really did like about this movie is how they really took the time with the characters.
But it doesn't feel long either.
It doesn't feel long at all either. It's like an hour and 40 minutes long. But, it's these two brothers, they rob banks, and then Jeff Bridges is the sheriff trying to catch them. I mean, you understand everyone's sides, and so I thought that was a really well executed movie. Definitely check that out if you get the chance. What is your number 6?
My number 6 is Moana. It's another Disney movie. I know I already have a few on here, like at least one. And Captain America, that's a Disney movie. I like this one because it's like, it's different for The Rock, I think, and it shows that he could sing. I like him singing. I didn't expect that. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, and the new girl they got too was pretty good. I don't know. I don't
She's
know.
like, I think she was 14 when she It's a hard name to say. I've said it several times. And I mess it up. And she's like only 14, and she did a great job. I thought. That's why my number 6.
My number 6. I don't think you watched. Have you watched 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yes, I did, but it wasn't in theater.
You did in theater? Okay. Well, I love this movie. I thought because one thing is for sure you don't have to watch the original Cloverfield movie to really enjoy this movie, because the whole movie basically takes place under a bunker, and you go with John Goodman, and I forgot the other girl's name, but so it's 3 people in a bunker, and it's just basically a what's the word when you're enclosed? Is it
Claustrophobic?
Claustrophobic, yeah. Just trying to see, because the guy, John Goodman's character, is trying to keep this girl inside the bunker because he says that the outside, the air is infected, stuff like that, caused from the incident, which is, from the first Cloverfield movie. And so it's basically a back and forth whether you just don't know for a fact if he's telling the truth or not. And it's very suspenseful. And it was just one of my favorite scripts and directed movies of the year. John Goodman's performance is very menacing because he's so big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought it was
It was a pretty good movie.
It was pretty good. What's your 5?
Deepwater Horizon. This one, Mark Wahlberg really surprised me because before this, he was like more of an action star, sometimes comedy with Will Ferrell. But this one, like, he actually showed his acting chops, and he did a great performance here in Deepwater Horizon. And it's really an emotional movie, and like after it, you just gotta sit there and like think about it for a while, like all that stuff that really did happen. I thought it was a great performance.
Yeah, I did not get a chance to watch that one, so Robert watched that one for me. But it sounds pretty good. So I wish I could have watched that maybe someday when you buy it on iTunes or something.
Yeah.
So that's your 5. So my 5 is Deadpool. Let me see. That's just, I think that was already on your list, right?
Yeah.
Deadpool. What number was that for
It's
you?
a little bit number 9 for me.
Number 9 for you. So that's 5 for me. Deadpool is a movie that I think was a comic book movie that we needed, because with this year, Batman v Superman flopped.
It didn't flop. It did good in theaters.
Well, it flopped in terms of like
critic-wise.
It was a good movie. Yeah, I didn't like that movie, and it missed my worst movie, but it was pretty bad. The director's cut is a lot better though. But and then you had Civil War, still pretty good, but I think we were just kind of tired of the whole. Not tired, but I'm saying it's just another Marvel movie because we had Doctor Strange this year, Civil War, and then we had X-Men Apocalypse, which that movie was kind of weird for me. But Deadpool was the movie that came out that I was like, yes, this is a comic book movie that I just want to keep seeing. The action was fun, was great. The comedy was spot on. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
He was just funny, and so I'm really happy that this project that he's been trying to get on for 10 years, I'm really happy that this finally came to fruition. And it was just everything I could have ever wanted from an adult movie, a comic book movie made for adults. And it was rated R, so it worked.
They didn't hold back.
They didn't hold back, and it really worked. And if you missed it, you should check it out. If you're very not into curse words, then you probably should have like a. You
can't watch it with your kids.
Yeah, unless you have like one of those things where it bleeps out that. But anyway, that's my 5. What's your 4?
Star Wars Rogue One. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Like, I could even enjoy the prequels. Not the best movies, but I remember growing up watching Star Wars, playing the video games. And this one right here, like, even though you pretty much know what's going to happen, it's still suspenseful and shocking. And the last 5 minutes of this movie is just amazing. So it's number 4 on my list.
Star Wars is not on my list. It's funny, you would think it would be, right? Because Civil War, you would think would be on my list, and Star Wars too. I'm a huge Star Wars fan too. But Star Wars, I think we can both agree that the beginning starts very slow. Right?
Yeah.
And then not much happens in the middle, but the last 20 minutes, when they're trying to steal the plans, that's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I saw it 3 times, and it got better each time I watched it, I thought.
Yeah, so I haven't watched it a second time yet, but I'm pretty sure if I did, I would like it a lot more. I still like it. I liked it a lot, actually. I was actually raving about it once I got to the theater. It does have problems, but I think the third act basically makes up for the entire movie. But it's not on my list. I'm sorry, Rob. So that's your 4, right?
Yes, sir.
So my 5 was actually, I think, your 10, right? Was it? Mine's
Your 4.
My 4 is Train to Busan. This movie, my friend John recommended it to me, and we were like, a zombie movie, okay, 4 movie, and then I think it had like a 95-6% on Rotten Tomatoes, and we were like, what? like, okay, let's just give it a shot. And it came out this year, so we watched it, and like I said before earlier in this video, it basically is World War Z on steroids, where the zombies are crazy, but it's shot in a way where you're just thoroughly engaged throughout the entire movie, because when the outbreak happens, your main characters are stuck in a train, and it just, when you're stuck in a train with zombies, it can sound stupid, but
it's not stupid.
It's not stupid. Like, there's a lot of times where there's a lot of cringeworthy moments where nothing cringeworthy in the movie, but cringe as when you're cringing, like, oh my god, like, are they gonna make it? They're not gonna make it. And yes, there are those characters that deserve to die because they're so stupid. But at the same time, the acting was great. I just love this movie, Train to Busan. Check it out, and you'll probably like it too if you're into that kind of stuff. That's my number 4. What's your number 3, Rob?
My number 3 is actually Hell or High Water.
Okay.
And like for him, it flew under the radar. I didn't know about it until I was like, bored, going through iTunes, like, what am I gonna watch next? And I was like, I'll check it out. It came out this year, and it really was an amazing movie, I thought.
It's pretty solid. I mean, Chris Pine, is it Ben Foster? That's his name, the brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jeff Bridges, just the acting all around. And there was a little bit of comedic moments too in the movie that I didn't really expect. That was pretty funny.
But it came naturally to the movie.
It just came, nothing felt forced. Yeah. And the drama was great. I love this movie. That was your 3, right? So yes, my 3 is Edge of 17. This was another movie that fell under the radar for me because I didn't see the trailers for this movie, but it just didn't look like a movie that I wanted to see. It just, like, from the posters, I was just kind of, okay, it looks like a teeny bop kind of movie, so I'll just skip it. And then months later, I saw on Rotten Tomatoes, I was just browsing through, Edge of 17 had like a 92 or something like that, and I was like, what? It's that good? So luckily the theater close to my house, I have a $2 theater next to my house, so I went to go watch it for $2, and it actually was one of my favorite movies of the year. It surprised me so much. It basically is what's the term, John Hughes movie, right? Is that his name? John Hughes, right? Like 16 Candles, that kind of movie era is basically how it was. And Haley Steinfeld's acting was superb. I think she should get nominated for Best Actress. Obviously she won't win anything, but she should at least get nominated because she has a bunch of mini monologues where it's just, for her age, it's just so good. Woody Harrelson's the best. He's that very sarcastic teacher that teachers wish they could say to students.
Yeah.
He basically says what teachers wish they could say to students, but they can't because they'll get fired. And it's awesome. But anyway, that's my number 3, Edge of 17. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's so good. All right, that's my 3. What's your... All right, this is the top 2. So, Rob, so much anticipation. What's your top 2?
All right, so I had to go back and forth between my number 2 and number 1 because I really enjoyed both of them. So, for number 2, I went with Sing Street.
Okay.
I went with Sing Street for number 2.
What a coincidence, because my number 2 is Sing Street. And we haven't seen each other's list yet, so I'm guessing I know what your number 1 is, because I'm pretty sure our top 2 is going to be the exact same. But Sing Street was awesome.
It was.
And it was a movie that I've been dying to see all year, but none of the theaters in my area was playing it. Yeah. I was so upset.
I live in LA County. Why are these theaters playing like everything?
So
like, it wasn't playing anywhere here in this area. Like, I drive like an hour away to watch a movie. I can't afford that.
Yeah, it's basically a movie in Dublin where it's like an 80s movie basically, and this guy likes a girl and he tells her he's in a band, he needs a model for his music video, but the problem is that he doesn't have a band, so he has to like make one. And it's a great movie. The music that they make is,
I love the music in it.
The music is so good. I mean, there's a little bit of like the 80s music songs that we already know, but there's a lot of new original songs that are written in this movie that I thought And so, I mean, honestly, if you recommend this movie to anybody, they're guaranteed to like it. If you don't like this movie, there's something wrong with them. It's such a good movie. So with that being said, I think I know what our number 1 is. It should be the same. If it's not the same, I'll be very surprised. Okay, so let's just say it at the same time, because if it's the same, it'll sound cool. If not, then it'll just be very awkward. Okay, so let's say number 1, right? So 1, on 3. So 1, 2, 3.
La La Land.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. I figured our top 2 is probably gonna be the same. All right, so yes, La La Land was my favorite movie of the year. I don't understand. I saw on Facebook people were like, "Oh, La La Land's overrated," and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" And there was one person on Facebook that I read was like, "Yeah, this movie is just overrated and it's not that great." From the opening, the opening shot of the movie is a musical, or a song that's one take, and if you don't like the first scene, I was smiling already. I was smiling throughout the entire movie. Basically, the comedy was on point. The songs were on point. I mean, like Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling aren't the best singers ever, but their voices and their charisma and their chemistry together really makes this one of the most enjoyable experiences in a theater for me, at least. And I was really bummed out at first because I think you got to watch it before me on Christmas Day.
Yeah, because like they weren't showing it in theaters, and then I found one that was close to me.
Yeah, it's like, why are all the best movies not being shown right away? Like limited releases like Sing Street and this movie.
Yeah, pisses me off. Show it right away. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So when I finally did get to watch, I watched it finally when I was able to do the wide release. And like Emma Stone was great, Ryan Gosling was great, the camera work was amazing, the music was pretty spot on. I loved and hated the ending, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love and hate the ending too.
Yeah, but it sounds weird when we say it, but when you watch it, you'll feel the same way.
Yeah, people around me like, what? I love this, but what?
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, guys, that's our top 10 movies of 2016. Sprinkled in with my little bit of the worst movies for this year. But anyways, guys, what was your top 10 movies of the year for 2016? And also, you know, this was our first year doing movie reviews. And so we want to say thank you for watching us throughout this entire year. It started off randomly, really. We were just kind of like, hey, you know, want to just review movies? And we're like, sure, let's just try it out. So, I mean, we had a lot of fun doing it. We don't expect to get, like, you know, 1 billion subscribers, you know, at the end of our lives, basically. We just do it for fun because we just like talking about movies. And so, thank you guys for watching us in 2016. There's a bunch of movies for 2017 to look forward to. We got Justice League, which I hope is good. You have Wonder Woman. You have a bunch of Marvel movies. Guardians of the Galaxy. You have
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok. You have another Star Wars movie, obviously. But yeah, like what movies are you guys looking forward to this year? Like John Wick 2. It's a bunch of movies that are coming out this year I wasn't expecting. And so, yeah, guys, thanks for watching us. We'll see you with much more movie reviews in 2017. All right, bye-bye.